صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jameel Mu'minin Mu'minat. Eid Mubarak on this very auspicious occasion. And as my speech is also very short, at least this is how much time I have, but they gave me just a short period of time because inshallah we will mostly engage in the ibadah of this night, inshallah, because this is a very special night, as we know, according to Rasulullah and according to the Ahlul Bayt, alayhim afdal salatu wassalam. That this night is equivalent to the Laylatul Qadr. And as recommended, inshallah, we'll just do kind of a short a'mal tonight here, but when you go back home or if you're planning to stay longer here, then one should engage in ibadah, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also mainly trying to connect to the Imam of their time, Imam Mahdi al-Sharif. So this is what I want to kind of focus on, our need in a sense of Imam Zaman al-Sharif. You know, sometimes we say it, and sometimes we even mention that, yes, we need the Imam. When we look at all that is happening in the world, we see the importance of Imam Zaman al-Sharif, the one who will establish justice in this world, just as he has been filled with injustice. But tonight I just want to focus very quickly, in this short space of time, on our personal need for Imam Zaman al-Sharif. And this is something that Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam, and subhanallah, as his title is, and we know that Baqir, and as it's been explained to us, Baqir al-Ilm, the one who opens the finite and the very, the very sacred things in the sirr, or the secret things of knowledge. In other words, he again opens elements of knowledge that perhaps we haven't even thought about. And so one of those places in which he did this, when he spoke about, or at least he told to one of his companions, the meaning of verse 30 of Surah Al-Mulk. So Surah Al-Mulk, verse chapter 67 in the Quran, and verse 30 is the last ayah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, قُلْ أَرَيْتُمُ إِنْ أَصْبَحَ مَاؤُكُمْ غَوْرًا فَمَنْ يَأْتِكُمْ بِمَاءٍ مَعِينٍ. So he says that if the water that you have, if it rains, if water comes down, and that water sinks into the earth, that at that point, when it's, you no longer see that water, he says, so who will bring forth for you ma'an ma'in, this fresh running water? So how will you then make use of that water? So this is a question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he puts forth. But as Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam, he stated that this is about Imam Zaman al-Sharif. And one thing I just want to point out here, because again, when we reflect upon these statements of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdal salatu wassalam, Surah Al-Mulk, as we know, it speaks about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's kingdom, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's ownership, that he owns everything. That this surah, it begins, تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكُ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. That blessed be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who owns everything, بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكُ, that everything is in his power, everything is under his authority. So he begins with this idea and concept, but then the end of this verse, as Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam, he is pointing out, is about Imam Zaman al-Sharif, showing the connection between the walayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that of Imam Zaman al-Sharif, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who owns everything, that everything is under his authority, that he places it in the hands of the Imam of our time. And this is not anything that is light. So when we truly think about it, that really, that what is our need for Imam Zaman? That everything in this universe is under his authority. By what? By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed this authority in the hand of Imam Zaman Ajal Sharif. Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam, he told his companion, he says that, in asbaha imamakum, he says, ghaiban alaykum, that when he is now in this state of occultation, وَمَا تَدْرُونَ أَيْنَ هُوَ, and you don't know where he is at that point. He says, at that point, فَمَنْ يَأْتِكُمْ بِإِمَامٍ ظَاهِرٍ يَأْتِيكُمْ بِأَخْبَارِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ حَلَالِ اللَّهِ وَحَرَامِهِ. So at that point, when the Imam is absent, who will bring forth this Imam? Who will bring forth this Imam? How would he come forth? So this is what Imam Baqir is getting us to reflect upon. So yes, we know that Imam Zaman Ajal Sharif, he's in this state of occultation. But now, for us, the most important thing is that who will bring this Imam forth? And this is a part of reflection. It doesn't go into, again, our need. And this is what I'm going to express, because the Imam also, he says that the ta'weel, in other words, this ayah number 30 of Surah Al-Mulk, he said, it has not come to fruition yet. مَا جَاءَ تَأْوِيلُهُ بَعْدَ. Meaning that it will come to fruition. Meaning that water that has gone into the earth, meaning the Imam who's gone into ghaiba, he will come forth. He will come forth. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, who will bring him? How will he come? What are the conditions for the Imam to come? One of those conditions, and I will say this, as I said, that I want to focus on what truly is our need. And that's to truly understand that what is our need for the Imam. And so that means that Imam Baqir al-Ilm, who, when he touches on the very fine elements of knowledge and understanding, it requires us to really reflect as well. So why is Imam Baqir alayhi wasallam, he's paralleling Imam Zaman Ajal Sharif with water. And if we understand the value of water, then we will understand the value and the need for Imam Zaman Ajal Sharif in our own life. First and foremost, nothing can live without water. Anything that has life in it, it needs water. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says this in the Quran, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ, that we've made everything living from water, that if it has life, then it needs this water. Even scientifically we say that yes, if the thing that sustains life is water, you can go longer without food than you can without water. That most people, you will die of thirst before you will die of hunger. Subhanallah. And when we understand this, then we begin to understand the value of Imam Zaman. That we need him in our life. That without Imam Zaman Ajal Sharif in our life, then are we truly alive? Are we truly living that life that we should be living? Again, just as a reflection, because I don't have much time, again, look at those who are during the time of Imam Hussein Ajal Sharif. Those who were the shuhada. And of course, those who were not able to make it, but they held on to the wilayat of Imam Hussein alayhi wasallam. For whatever reason, they weren't able to make it. The husband of Zainab, some other individuals, they weren't able to make it. But look at their life versus those who turned their backs on Imam Hussein. And they think they were living, they think they had life. So the first thing is that everything that has life, that has vitality, and also everything that has everything that has any type of spiritual element to it, it needs Imam Zaman Ajal Sharif. And without it, there's no life. Second thing, second point about the need and necessity of water. What do we need water for? We needed to purify ourselves. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again, something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains and He says about water, that He has sent down water from the heavens, tahiran. Or as the ulama explain, well, actually this is within the hadith as well, that water is tahiran mutahhiran. That not only is it pure in itself, but is that thing which purifies other things. And so whenever we have to make our purity, we make wudu, we make our ghusl, or if something becomes mutanajis, we wash it off. That is the value of water. Again, without Imam Zaman in our life, that what state of purity are we in? What is the direction of our life? Very beautifully as well, when we think about this water. And in fact, in one of the hadith of Imam Ali bin Musa Rida, alayhi salatu wassalam, when he spoke about verse 30 of Surah Al-Mulk as well, he says that, yes, this ma'ukum, that this water that is ghawru ma'ukum, that he says that is abwabukum, meaning that you're imams. That they will be at one point that they will not be with you. And then the Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, he also stated that what will be absent as well, or that ma'ul ma'in, that who will bring forth this ma'ul ma'in? That ma'ul ma'in, as Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, he points to, he says, ilmul imam. This is the knowledge of the imam. وَمَنْ يَأْتِكُمْ بِمَاءٍ مَعِينٍ. And that's the question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking. He says that, well, in that time that the imam is absent, one of the ways of the coming forth of the imam is that knowledge of the imam. Those methods in which we gain the knowledge of the imam. And of course that is, again, from our ulama, our muraja, our kiram, that they're the ones who, again, subhanAllah, for years they take time of their life. Years they study to, again, bring this knowledge of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afsal wasalam. Present us with this knowledge. Distinguish within that knowledge, again, because we have a plethora of hadith, many hadith. Some are good, some are false. And then painstakingly, they go and they examine these things and they make sure that, look, these are the hadith that we can authenticate. These are the signs, for example, as we spoke about in the Salat al-Jummah, the signs of the reappearance of Imam Mahdi. Those signs which are certain. That what we need to look for, what we need to prepare ourselves for. But if we're not holding fast to those elements that brings forth the imam. وَمَنْ يَأْتِكُمْ بِمَاءٍ مَعِينٍ. Our masajid, our masjids, our places of ibadah, our places of worship, our places of remembering the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembering the Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdal wasalam, and more importantly, remembering our imam. And this is one of the things that when we look at the advice of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdal wasalam, when we look at the advice of even the imam of our time, those things that they emphasize, again, one of the things that we're doing now, our gathering, our unity, our keeping each other accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, accountable to the imam of our time. Again, the stories of Karbala and Imam Hussein, these are not just stories, these are not just fairy tales. Oh, we come and we sit and we mention a story. They're there for us to act upon. Meaning that we shouldn't be like those individuals who, again, they swore their allegiance to the imam of their time. And this is the night of doing it. The night of the eve of the 15th of Shabaan, this is the night we say, Labbaika, Ya Imam Salman. Labbaika. This is the night. And so I remember this very vividly in Qum. And students will go to this Masjid al-Jam Quran. over tonight and also tomorrow morning. This is the time people they wrote their letters to Imam Zaman Ajal Faraj Sharif. This is one of the things that's recommended. And you put it in the water. There's a well by the Masjid al-Jam Quran. This masjid was built by the order of Imam Zaman Ajal Faraj Sharif. And people are going there, packed, writing their letters. But do we reflect or think that, well, I'm writing this letter to my Imam. Is it like the letters that Imam Hussein alayhi hafiz ajal received? But then when the Imam came, that stand with me, that people turned around? This is that night that we give our bay'ah, that we give our allegiance to the Imam of our time. This is the night that even if we haven't physically wrote that letter, then we should understand that our presence, that if we say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah Aliyyun Waliyullah, then this is the night that even by our existence, very statement that we follow the Imam of our time, that we're writing this letter to the Imam. That we're here. Labbaik. So that means that, yes, our masjid should not be empty, our community should not be empty, that we should stand with our Imam. Stand with our Imam. And there's many aspects of this parallel between water and the Imam of our time. And I'll just mention this as the last one. The thing is that even when water, it sinks into the earth. It sinks into the earth. Not at one moment should we think that water is inaccessible. We can't get to it. No, it's possible. Again, mashallah, when the water sinks into the earth, what do? We begin to drill wells. It may take some effort to get to. But either you're going to die from thirst or you're going to make effort to get that water. It's not inaccessible. It's there. You have to go after it. And this is what Allah is saying. وَمَن يَأْتِكُمْ بِمَاءٍ مَعِينٍ. That who will bring forth this water? If you don't make the effort, then you won't access that water. You will not get it. It's there. Allah places it there for you to get. And so that means that we have to make every effort to access that water. Every effort to gain that water. In other words, in this process of building community, this process of building relations, that's like drilling that well. It's difficult. Sometimes you run into rocks. Your drill bit may break. So what do? You give up at that point? Or you will get another drill bit, and you keep drilling, and you keep drilling, until you reach that water, until you access that water. This is our duty, this is our responsibility in this time of ghaibah. And one of the things, I was saying this just because, again, it was recommended some individuals that they began even a campaign, and they said that in order to pray for the hastened reappearance of Imam Zaman Ajal Faraj Sharif, and truly sincerely pray for the hastened reappearance. Again, if we understood anything from our need of Imam Zaman, he's like the water in our life. He's the vitality of our life. Spiritually, physically, mentally, in every aspect. Then, inshallah, we can join this campaign that some of the mu'mineen, they started. They said that starting from tonight and 40 days to recite the Ziyarat Ashura with the intention of the hastened reappearance of Imam Zaman. And also for the next 40 days as well, to recite this simple dua, and to recite it 40 times each day. Allahumma ajjal waliyyaka al-faraj. Allahumma ajjal waliyyaka al-faraj. So Allah, Allahumma ajjal, hasten, waliyaka, your wali, meaning Imam Zaman, al-Faraj, hasten his victory, his reappearance. That inshallah, and their intention is that millions of mu'mineen, and hear what they're saying. There's millions of believers, millions of those who say that they follow Imam Zaman, that if we pray for that inshallah the Imam will come. But the Imam only needs how many? 313. But out of millions of saying this, perhaps 313 will rise up. Perhaps by reciting that we will, again, truly understand the need of Imam Zaman and truly perhaps become one of those 313 that the Imam needs. That the Imam needs. And inshallah, for the sake of time, I'll end with this, although, subhanAllah, there's much more that can be said or should be said, but we'll leave that for our own reflections and our du'as as we are trying to connect to the Imam of our time. And again, this is like the night of, as I said, Laylatul Qadr. Yes, we pray for our hajat, our need in life. And some of us will be praying for those things that we need to get married or that raise or this and that. But the most important thing is that true thing that we need for life. And that is Imam Zaman Ajal Faraj al-Sharif. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كن لوليك لحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا ومناصرا ودليلا ومعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك توعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We'll just do a really short ziyarah for Imam Zaman. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. السلام عليك يا معز المؤمنين المستضعفين السلام عليك يا مذل الكافرين المستكبرين السلام على آبائك المعصومين الأئمة الهادين المهديين السلام على جدك الأكبر محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وآله السلام على أمك فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام عليك يا سيدي ومولاي يا صاحب العصر والزمان السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك وجعل الله من أعوانك وانصارك والمستشهدين بين يديك وتحت لوائك السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبي جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Let the sisters go first. Inshallah, we're going towards the back for the cake cutting and then followed by dinner, inshallah. And then we're trying to start A'mal. The program said A'mal at 8:30. I guess we'll probably have to do, what do you think? 8:40? We'll start with A'mal. 8:40, inshallah.